The reason you don't make more money is because you talk too much. Sometimes that might be that you're not talking enough, but regardless, we're going to jump into it. First things first, what's good? What's happening? My name is Shaque'l. I am better known as your favorite six-figure chick, and you are listening to your favorite six-figure chick podcast. I am here with Gina.
Hi, my name is Gina. I'm your program coordinator, and we are going to get into all things money.
Money. I'm talking it's all about the Benjamins today. Truthfully, people talk themselves out of jobs. They talk themselves out of money. They talk themselves out of raises. And so that's what I want to get into today. Thing one, I need you to say less words. Less words. We tend to think that when it's time for negotiation or anything like that, that we've got to over explain why we deserve the amount of money, or not even deserve, because I hate this, like, make them pay you your worth. No one can ever pay you your worth.
What's your worth? Absolutely.
They can pay your rate.
Right.
You can pay my rate, but my rates are not my worth. But you have to. So like, don't do that. It sounds like I deserve this. This is not a feeling words time, right? Money is decided based off of data.
Absolutely.
And data alone, especially for corporations. They do not care how you feel. There is a man in a suit in a different state that has never met you that is deciding what salary band you get access to. That is how that works. It is not like, you know what, I really like Gina. And so I just think she should just have, $200,000 because I just love her. Mm-hmm. But when people negotiate, they're like, I think. You think what? You don't know?
I hate when people use I think.
I should make, I think I should make $100,000 because I'm a single mom and I work really hard and I have 2 degrees and, I would work really hard for this company. So I think I should make $100,000. None of that means anything.
So nobody.
None of that means anything to anybody. It felt good. I'm sure you rehearsed it a lot. You worked really, really hard on it. But we talk about negotiation a lot. And negotiation is always really, really simple. We have our formula that we use. So we use gratitude. Mm-hmm. We say the phrase. And then we stop talking.
Absolutely.
And so gratitude always sounds like, oh my goodness, Shani, I am so grateful for this opportunity. I had such a good time, interviewing with Gina and with Natasha and with Shannon. This has been so great learning what Six Figure Chick Consulting does. I'm actively interviewing for roles that pay between $100,000 and $115,000. So that was the gratitude. That was the phrase. And then we stop talking. If you are over the phone, put yourself on mute.
Absolutely.
This is one of the easiest things to do is to put yourself, even if you're on a Zoom call, put yourself on mute. Put your hand over your mouth. So they don't see your lips moving. And if you need to keep talking, that's cool. But put yourself on mute.
Yes.
But the confidence of the statement and how it sounds, it's not, which I think that
it exudes confidence.
Maybe I can. That's exactly it.
Yes.
I know I deserve, because we have those feelings.
Yes.
I know I deserve this amount of money.
Right.
This is what I'm doing. Absolutely. I am interviewing for roles that are going to pay me this.
Right.
If you want to be in the running for me to be an employee for you,
absolutely,
then you are going to have to pay me this amount of money as well. Totally up to you. Ball's back in your court, baby. You let me know which one of these things you'd like to do. But we over talk a lot in negotiations. And there's what's the book called? It's Split the Difference. Is that it's Never Split the Difference or something like that.
Right.
It's the first person to talk usually is the person that loses, right? Mm-hmm. It's the thought process is the first. So once you say what you say, shut up. Because the first person to talk is the person that loses. And they will either say yes or no, right? Or they'll give you a no, but, and you can negotiate everything. So people sometimes think that it's just money.
No.
But I can negotiate a company car.
Absolutely.
I can negotiate more PTO. I can negotiate not having to pay so much money for my benefits and things like that. I could negotiate a higher stipend for my internet or my technology or whatever. Absolutely. I can negotiate a higher learning and development stipend. I can negotiate that I want a salary review in the next 3 to 6 months or whatever the case may be. There's so many options. Start with money. I always want money. Give me cash.
Give me cash.
Give me
no
cash.
Confusion. Give me cash. But
give me cash. But if they say no to that, you then have this slew and this list of other things that you can ask for, on top of that. So there's just so many options.
I love it.
Is the thought, but we start with one because we don't want to overtalk it. We don't want to be well, I would like $30,000 more, but I could also, maybe you could give me this, maybe you could do that. It's no, it's not maybe. Let them offer you this one thing. And then we can go from there as we need to go from there, if we need to go from there.
Absolutely.
That is always my, that's my spiel on negotiations. I always have a lot of opinions about
So when you negotiated, you talked a couple more episodes ago about your negotiation, and then you left the company.
Yeah.
For $5,000.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give you $5,000.
Right.
Explain more about that.
Yeah. So sometimes the answer truly is no, right? Like sometimes they're not going to budge. Like you can be world's best negotiator. And if they just don't have the budget for it, like, let me tell you something. My current employees, I tell y'all all the time, hey, don't ask me about no fucking money.
No. Like, all the time. She say, don't ask me about no money.
Don't ask me
about no money. Like, I'm the middle ground and because I'm like the best friend. So I feel like I'm the middle ground. They'd be like, hey, Shaque'l gonna do this? I said, no. I said, I'm gonna tell you no, but
definitely not.
I'm gonna just tell her you said this. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm not gonna ask her, but I'm gonna tell you. Let me see how
Absolutely
she's feeling today. And if you off today, I said, I'm not gonna ask her that shit.
We're not gonna ask me.
I'm not gonna say no. Like
please don't
wait,
ask
like
me
2-3 weeks. I'll be like, oh shit, like 2-3 weeks ago she said this. They said that. Can you?
Someone's gonna ask about some money. Absolutely not. That's not how it's gonna work. But like we have these set budgets and these set numbers,
Absolutely.
and so I know what I can afford to pay my employees and what I can't, and then we don't. So here at Six Figure Chick Consulting, I really try to do a very no nonsense like type of thing. I'm like, hey, I don't want you to negotiate with me because I am offering you absolutely like the max of what I can. Most companies are giving you an offer where there's room for negotiation. So when they say, hey, I want to pay you $50,000, that salary band could go up to 75. But they're offering you 50 because they assume you're going to negotiate. So every time you don't negotiate, you are leaving money on the table. The expectation is that you negotiate. But again, I am not Google, right? I'm not TikTok. I'm not one of these very large corporations. So I tell people all the time, like, hey, the answer is just no, buddy. This is where we are. Like, this is where, and like, to be very clear, I just want y'all to know my employees are paid very well. They love me. We pay everybody very, very well here. Everybody has great benefits packages and all of these things, especially for like a 10-person company. I offer better benefits than like some Fortune 500 organizations do. And I'm very proud of that. So, but the answer sometimes is just no. And so with that situation from, a few years back, I don't think it was that they had lack of budget. We talked about this. I think I was doing like 52 or like 50 in a base salary and about $20,000 in commission. Baby, I don't miss commission. You was going to pay me that money regardless. I was getting a $20K regardless. I was just simply asking, can we put the money onto the base? I just want the money
in
guaranteed.
My pocket though. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Because also too, I was transitioning into a role that no longer, so for some of you who might be going from a commission-based role to a non-commission-based role, like that's how they get you sometimes. Like when you're in a commission-based role, like, I know sellers that make $300,000 like a year, but it's like $150K base and then $150K here. Yeah. You can switch into another role, baby. They can't give you a $300,000 salary for being the manager of marketing, like director of marketing, maybe, like VP of marketing, maybe. But that's not going to be. But it's like, hey, this is a role that gets you out of doing the day to day, the constant phone calls, the this and that, and moves you into a new area of opportunity. Absolutely. So sometimes people have to realize too that like the money isn't always like the answer. What else? Like, what else am I getting? Like in lieu, with this as well. But sometimes the answer is no. And the answer for them was just no. I asked every which way I could. I was like, hey, can I just have all $70,000? They said no. I said, okay, can I get $5,000 just added onto my base? They said no. I said, can you take the $5,000 out of my commission, put it on my base? They said no. I don't ask every. I'm like, can I do a GoFundMe around the office for $5,000 extra dollars, please? And they were like, no, like this is not it. So I asked every which way they could. And I definitely think that like at the time that company was going through a like merge and a restructure and yada. So like this all worked out in their favor. Nothing to do with you, yeah, this all worked out in their favor. Absolutely. There's so many things now that as a business owner, I'm like, fuck, I get why they do. And I hate it because I don't want to be on their side. I never want to be on their side, but like I am them now. And I'm like, nah, it makes sense why you wouldn't do that. Like I totally get it. And so, sometimes truly the answer is no. But even outside of negotiations, when it comes to money, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And so I want Black women especially to leverage their network more. Building a network is super important because then you get to hear, okay, so you do what and you're making how much money, and you do what and you're making how much money. So then it's like, I know what to be asking for. We talked about this in another episode as well. But, you know, at one of the companies I worked at, when I worked with Kate, who's our operations manager, like every time she got a promotion, she would put me up and she would tell me how much money she made.
Absolutely.
So that way I knew how much money to ask for. And so I know that we sometimes still live in the era of like salary transparency. It's so gross. That's so taboo. And Black people especially, be like, you don't need nobody in your pockets.
You don't know.
Don't nobody be watching your pockets.
Don't nobody need to be watching
pockets.
No.
Might be. I need you to know.
Like transparency.
I need you to know what to ask for. So, like when you're in this opportunity, I want you to know.
One of my friends, she was like, yeah, I'm a manager. You know, I'm a manager now. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, okay, you know, how much money are you making? She's like 38. I was like, 38 what? Like $38 an hour or 38,000? Like what is it? $38,000 like a year. And I was
managing.
Like, hey, I was like, hey, that is not. She's like, is that good? I said, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Like, no.
Baby, you're making about twice that and don't manage a damn person.
Don't manage nobody. I'm like, hey, you got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? Two kids. It's yourself. You're paying, you know, your rent, your, you know, their clothes, their shoes, you know, taking them, you know, extracurricular activities, sports and everything. I'm like, that is not, you cannot tell me that's enough money.
Sometimes people don't know though. You don't know what you don't know. So when you hear, I tell this story a lot of, you know, I used to be married, and me and my ex-wife, I always thought that together when we make $100,000, oh my God, we've made it. I'm buying a house.
We made it.
I'm getting a new car. I'm gonna do all this stuff. Let me tell y'all something. My last corporate job paid me $150,000 plus like stipends and yada yada. I probably made like closer to $175,000 by myself.
By your damn self.
That shit was not enough money. Like it was like for certain like things, but like I was digging myself out of $30,000 worth of collections.
Absolutely.
And the car note that was $30,000 and $70,000 worth of student loan debt. It wasn't enough money. And so when you ain't got a whole bunch of debt and and so it's just like you don't know, because at the time I only thought CEOs made $100,000. You know what I'm saying? I only thought like these big wig people. I didn't know that I could do an everyday regular job and I was a trainer making over $100,000. Trey, I got to do fun shit.
Absolutely.
I got to be like, hey, what's up, y'all? We gonna learn this thing today. 222. These are the 3 key values of the organization. Can you say transparency? I got to be a teacher.
Absolutely.
Where teachers are making 40, 50K to get their ass beat, figuratively and literally.
And literally.
Both of them. And they're trainers and they're instructional designers and they're program managers and they're doing all of this work. And it's like, yo, you're making 40, 50K to do that, but you could do, and people just don't know. Yes. Like people are always, anytime I say, they're like, what did you do for $150,000? And then I explain it and they're like, I be doing that in my job. So your friend who's like a manager, is she not onboarding people, like employees?
Yes.
And training them?
It was like, hey, you know, on Facebook the other day, it was like, hey, I'm hiring for a PRN, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you start off, like people were like, hey, how much do I start off? Which is like wild. Whenever somebody asked like how much I started off and you give me that number back, it was like, I think it was like $13, $14. And I was like, oh, hell no.
I won't.
You can't.
I won't.
You can't pay
you
me.
You can pay me.
To look the ground for
what? Can't pay me
absolutely not.
Shit for $13.
So I'm like, you're onboarding people, you're hiring people, you are the manager actually managing people in like a nursing home type situation because nursing homes are it's so hands-on. Yeah. Like there's
so many different pieces. It's just like the teachers though, right?
Yes.
You're doing all of these different like things. You're not just doing this one.
Absolutely.
And so if you can, that's a really big thing when it comes to money, is if you can identify what you do. So we talk all the time about like, what do you actually do versus what your job description is?
Absolutely.
Write it all down. What do you actually do on a day-to-day? Because that is where your 6-figure job is. Mm-hmm. Your 6-figure job is within all of this extra shit that you are doing that nobody is giving you credit for, that no one's compensating you for. That's where the 6 figures are.
Yes.
Because I said, teachers are program managers.
Yes.
Program managers make $90,000 like minimum.
Telling my sister, like, hey, you implemented robotics. You teach.
Not math. You out here engineering.
Engineering.
Not you out here engineering like, hey, for 40 grand.
What?
Like, what?
And she just told me like last night, she was like, oh my God, you know, I made like 58. I was like, hey, you can be a learning and development manager because you have, you teach people, you implement programs like robotics. How smart are you? And I was like, hey, you can seriously make
if I was an engineer, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me shit. You ain't tell me shit now. If I was an engineer, I'd be like, I own all of this. Everything is mine. This is just like they're in such high demand, right? Like it's just so like I can build things like I build things like up here, right? But like you want me to put things together and click a button and do shit. That's crazy, right? Like, so just figuring out the 6-figure job is within all of the things that aren't listed in your job description. but you've gotta know like where these opportunities like lie and that they're there. And a lot of people just don't, like Black people in particular, I talk about this all the time, but like my family country, like we small and we country. My grandma drove a school bus. Yes. My mom did manual labor jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like building air conditioners for train and driving forklifts and stuff at the local, what's it damn place, newspaper place. My daddy is like worked at like, convenience stores and stuff, right? He's a mover. Right. Like he moves. And I think he works at like a mental health facility now, like as like kind of an orderly for them. And so it's just like, this is what my family like knows. They don't know anything like else. And so had I not left my small town, came to Austin, came to a bigger city. Yes. And even when I came here, baby, my first job was $40,000. Like it was $40K, but that was twice the amount of money I was making in Waco. Like that was twice the amount of money. So like, it was wild. Also, let me tell you something. Beautiful, beautiful Black person. Move.
Please move.
Please move.
Please move.
Leave wherever you are at. Please. You do not need to stay Texas. There. Leave Waco, Texas. Leave these small places. Please. Like there are so many more opportunities waiting for you when you like leave. And these are where your 6-figure opportunities lie, is in the ability to go somewhere else and to find new. I would have never, my first job here. So my first job here, when I lived in Waco, I worked at a hospital and I was a new patient specialist. That was my title. So when I applied to this job here, y'all, what is a little phrase they use now? Like, may all your delulu come true. Like, let me tell you something. I applied to a job that was a new client specialist because I was like, shit, that sounds similar enough to me. Like that. like this is my job. This got to be what I was already doing. Bro, it was not the same job. It was not. I worked at a hospital. This job was working at a fintech company, like taking, inbound like sales calls, pretty much is what it was. Like inbound sales, like customer service kind of stuff. Somebody filled out a form. They needed my help with like getting to the next parts of it. And it was my job to make sure they completed the form because we got a notification like the second they started to fill it out. So it was my job to like outreach or have them reach out to me and like, keep moving them past like through that process. Those are not the same jobs at all. No, they're nowhere like near what they like were supposed to. So it's like, sometimes you should be doing shit. And I'm okay with that. Just be doing shit. I don't care. Like, I'm like, what's the girl on TikTok? So a girl said she got into Harvard. And somebody's like, oh my God, how'd you get into Harvard? And she was like, because I applied.
Because I applied.
That's why I applied. Because I did it.
You have to do it. You have to do it. Like you were saying, just do it. Like, I would never thought, like, I graduated from Baylor. Never thought I would go to Baylor, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like smart people, like in my grade, like, hey, we're on a 4.0 scale. Them fools was on a 5.0 scale. 5.0 scale. Yeah. Graduating with 5.2s. Uh-huh. Here I am with my little, 3.9. Think I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
I'm almost on the 8 honor roll, damn it.
Valedictorian, salutatorian, rocking across the stage. Oh, 5.2. I said, what the fuck?
Summa cum laude and all that.
Summa cum laude, summa. And they started doing all of this. And I'm just like, oh shit, I ain't gonna never get to this. Yeah. They're gonna be like, denied. Like, absolutely. You're not smart enough. And then look at just apply like, oh, you got in? I said, Mom.
Got it.
I said, Mom, I got it. She told me, what? How we gonna pay? I said, I don't know. We gonna get
we'll figure it out afterwards.
We gonna figure it out. Like,
that's not today's problem. That's tomorrow's. That's next semester's problem. That's but right now, I got in.
I got in right now. That's what I'm saying. You just, you did it.
And not only got in. I want to make this real clear. She not only got in, she graduated, finished school. This is a Baylor University graduate sitting next to me.
Baby. Do you hear me? Them fools were in there. I was in there with brains. I want to be a brain surgeon. I said, it was like, what you want to be? I said, I want to work in a jail. I said, I want to be a warden, I was like, that's it. I was like,
That's it. But I'm here though.
I'm a neurosurgeon. I was like, damn,
that's
all right,
cool. That is, yes.
My motherfucking teeth. Yes,
I'm saying, bro. But have the audacity. Like, truthfully, like, Black women have the audacity. Please. They gonna tell me, they're gonna be like, hey, we gotta cut this out of the podcast. So we're gonna see if it makes it. But let me tell you something. I want you to have the audacity of a white cis het male as often as you can, because they will just sign up for shit and just do shit. When it comes to negotiation, which is why when it comes to negotiation, it's why I don't want you. Some people will teach you, you need to ask them what their budget is first so that you don't I don't give a fuck about it. Because when white dudes walk into that room, what they're going to say is, I want to make $200,000.
That's it.
And they're done. And they get the money. That's what's the first, because they have the fucking confidence and the audacity. So I want you to have the confidence and the audacity of like Donald Trump. Please. That's it. Donald Trump. If you can do that, we're good. That man was the president of the United States. I'm gonna just keep it moving so we don't get in no trouble. But I'm just saying, How? Unqualified.
Have the audacity.
Unqualified.
And he trying to become president again.
Two times.
Impeachment. We're gonna keep it moving. But he got the audacity to put my name on the ballots again. I'm like,
right?
So
sign
what?
me up. So I need you.
No.
I need you to have
Crazy.
the audacity. If you can do that, you are going to get so many more places.
Absolutely.
But like as Black women, right? We're told to make ourselves smaller, not to be as loud, or not to do this stuff. And like I know we're going to talk about this on another episode of like this imposter syndrome and how to like be in the workspace and all that stuff that still feels really like valid and like where you feel valued. But I have gotten to where I am because I am fucking loud.
Yes.
I've gotten to where I am because like I'm going to make you uncomfortable in an interview and I'm okay with that. People ask me like, what's your best and your worst like trait? Like, what's your best trait? What's your worst trait? I'm like, the answer is the same. When I am, what's the word I'm looking for? I am like a go-getter. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, you are.
And like when I'm on your side, you're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are on the receiving end of that shit, you are going to be concerned.
You are.
And I have said that in interview, and I'm comfortable with it because I know that I go after what my clients need. Mm-hmm. I go after what my team needs. Absolutely. I'm totally okay with that. And so when I'm the person you're taking up for, like you're like, oh, this is so good. It feels like a warm blanket. Baby. I just wrapped you in a warm, weighted blanket. But when you are on the receiving end, it's definitely like, shit. And I know it. And I'm okay with that. Like so it's just like being audacious has truly like worked out for me. Now I work in sales. So my background is sales. And so being audacious has worked for me. Engineering is a little different, right? The personality types like look a little different. And so understanding the dynamics of like the role that you're trying to get into, but like, I just want y'all to want more for yourselves and to ask for more for yourselves and to like go into it with confidence. And you go into it with confidence by asking the other Black women around you and other people around you. Like, hey, there's TikToks and stuff that's like, what is it? Salary Transparency Street might be the name of it. Yeah. And a person just stops and like interviews people and it's like, what's your job title? How much money do you make? How long have you been doing this? And so there's opportunities like that where, you can figure it out, but other ways. Negotiation starts well before, you get to the end and they want to offer you a job. So it's starting from like, what does your resume look like? It's starting from how you're presenting yourself in your interviews and things like that. Like those things start so much further on. Also, please leave your fucking jobs. Stop staying somewhere. Jobs. You can stay for 1 to 2 years. Yes. So most jobs are going to give you 3 to 5%, 2 to 5% raise every year. Right. I can leave one job and go to the next doing the exact same job title and make 20 to 30% more money. Like easily. Why easily leave jobs. So again, Black people, it's like you need, your parents. You need to stay at that good job. You got that good government job. You got that good you got the pension. You got the. I don't even know what pension is.
Okay, Robert.
I don't know, bro.
Robert stay in the job 31. You get on the job.
I won't
somewhere. 30 years. I said absolutely not. What the hell I look like working a job for 30 years? I'm like, the same job?
The same job.
You want me to do the same job?
The same job. I'm not doing it.
Years.
Absolutely not. I'm leaving.
Absolutely not. I'm leaving.
And so that's the thing too, is like when you think about transitioning jobs, I don't always need y'all to transition like different careers, right? It doesn't have to be like I'm a teacher and I'm a trainer and then I was a trainer and now I'm an instructional designer and I was this and then now I'm that. It doesn't have to be that. It is just simply going somewhere else. If you've worked at one tech company, you don't work at them all. I guarantee you, and I know it because I don't work at like 6 of them. And I never did quite the same stuff, but I always had this ability. So it's like every 2 years, I want you moving through and getting to another opportunity. So I was working at the logistic tech company, and they gave me, it was my base salary was 50. I left there. I went to Google, which is everything. But at the time I was working in essentially telecommunications tech. That's the department I worked for. Telecommunications tech, that gave me 68. I love telecommunications tech, and I'm doing the same job title. I was the manager of learning and development. Then I was the sales trainer. And then I moved to TikTok, which is an ad tech company, and I got $150,000. I did those 3 moves in 8 months. So I went from $50,000 base to $150,000 base in 8 months. And I'm not telling you, please don't swap 3 jobs in 8 months. That's not what I want you to take away from this.
Please don't.
But the point is that like job hopping is actually helpful. As Black people, we tend, and specifically Black women, we're like, we want to be loyal. We want to show like loyalty. We want to stay here. So like I want better for you, right? Like that's at the end of the day, it's like, I want better for you. That's where I want to like wrap this at. So may all your delulu come true. That's what I would say. Is there anything I'm missing from this wrap?
I don't think you're missing anything. I really think you spoke about it well. You spoke about it in a place of like not being so like intense about it. I think money is hard for people, especially Black women, especially Black people in general. Like how much money you like.
It's hard to talk about.
You know, Bob make 3 times that. Like, damn, Bob.
I'm trying to get like you, big money.
I'm like, I called my husband. All right, big bang hands. He talking about big bang hands. I said, yeah, them pockets.
I see them. They little fat.
So you know, you just gotta be transparent and just like talk about it in like a lighthearted way because everybody has been there. Like we've made like this $7 hour job.
We've done those.
$12 an hour. You know, now we up in the big bucks. I already told. Get in the big bucks. Yeah. Like, and negotiate.
And help other people get there. Please. And you're only going to help other people get there by being transparent about your money. Even if it's not with everybody. I want us to be transparent with everybody, but even with just your network, even with just your friends, just your family, right? These are your options. So like, that's the thing. Like, I want y'all to get to the bag. Get to this money, make this money. Don't let this money make you. Don't let this money make you, baby. I love this. I hope you're going into your week feeling really confident about your money, about how you're going to get to your next bag, about looking into all of the work that you do that's not listed on your job title and finding your 6-figure career within that. We not dealing with no Sunday scaries, okay? So I will see y'all next Sunday for 6-figure Sundays. I hope that y'all love this and we will talk to y'all soon.
Bye, y'all. Make that money.
Bye, everybody.